All right. Good morning. Nope, good afternoon on a Wednesday. Quick recap. Monday we had the chest 150 and back 150, and rumor has it there were some sore muscles on the chest and the back. We also had the right leg and left leg body circuits, and we also had the warm-up workout circuit of the isometric non-moving contraction planks to go with our movements. So for those of you that know me well, today we start off with our isometric, non-moving, second greatest force you put on a muscle contraction, wall sits. So I'll give you a second to go find your wall. We have 5 sets of 1 minute wall sits, like we had our 5 sets of our 1 minute planks. And we're gonna combo with our movements because we have our warm-up pieces and we have our workout components. And then today we have quads, hamstring glutes, calves, we have shoulders and arms. There is lots of work to do. Are you ready? Wall sit in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. When you're doing your wall sit, you got your head against the wall, your back against the wall, your butt against the wall, your shoulders against the wall, right? Everything's against the wall. You got a 90-degree angle at your hips, your knees, and your ankles. You can do feet regular position like a regular squat and a regular leg press and a regular hip bridge. You can do feet and shoulder width apart. You can have your feet wider. You can have your feet narrower. You could change your feet throughout your circuit. We have 5 1-minute wall sits coming your way, going with all of our movements to get warm, to get loose, to get that body ready for your workout today. Happy Wednesday. And I know when we do these things, it feels like we kind of jump into our workout. Well, in some way we are. 3, 2, 1, relax and breathe. Don't race to get off the wall, right? You got your 20 standing scissors. You've got your isometric wall sit, which is a non-moving contraction, which is the second greatest force you can put on a muscle, comboed with your dynamic lengthening of your standing scissors. 20 total alternating, 10 each leg, hamstrings, glutes, back muscles, shoulder, hip joints. There's lots of good lengthening and movement on a standing scissor. We have 5 different combos. Remember, we're not in a hurry. You're back on the wall in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Highly recommend mixing up the width of your feet. I know they're not concentric contractions, which is a movement contraction, but your muscles do turn on and activate a little differently based on the width of your feet. So a wide squat, a wide hind wide leg press, and a wide wall sit, your vastus lateralis, your outer quad, your semitendinosus, your outer hamstrings, those should turn on a little bit more, technically. But you're still working all your quads and all your hamstrings, and you've got some glutes there as well. For you, this is your second set. I don't try to brag, but this is my 12th set of wall sits today. Right, Justin? It's my 12th set. 3, 2, 1, relax, shake it off, right? Don't be in a hurry getting off the wall. 20 standing runners. Again, you have your isometric, non-moving wall sit going with your dynamic mobility. Mobility refers to joints. You have a lot more movement in your joints on standing runners. Spine, hips, knees, ankles. Can't really say shoulders too much, but maybe a little bit of shoulders in there as well on your standing runners. 20 total alternating standing runners. And again, you're gonna shake it off. You're warming up. You're getting your mind ready We're getting our body ready. You're on the wall in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Again, play around with your feet. A little wider, a little narrower. Your butt stays against the wall. Your back stays against the wall. Your head, your shoulders, they all stay against the wall. However, I want you to challenge yourself. 90-degree angle at your hips, 90-degree angle at your knees, 90-degree angle at your ankles. That turns on your muscles even more. I've been talking to a lot of people about form. Notice I don't talk about form. A lot of people, they're kind of in a form thing right now. I don't know if it's the world, but I want people to think about the mechanics of exercises versus the exact form. What is the mechanics of an exercise? You're gonna hear a lot about that stuff in the next several workouts. 3, 2, 1, relax and breathe. And again, don't be in a hurry getting off your wall. Jack LaLanne's. That is your dynamic stretching. The narrower the feet, the lower it goes down your hamstrings. The wider the feet, the higher the stretch in your hamstrings. But Jack LaLanne said it. You gotta get up. You gotta get big. You gotta get tall before you can consistently and effectively go back down. Dynamic stretching. Dynamic in my world is multi-joint motion and multi-muscle activation. Static, which you're going to hear about more soon, is a single joint exercise and a single muscle activating. They can all be hard, they can all be easy, it's just terminology. We're back on the wall. This is your fourth wall sit out over 5. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Today we have started off with a wall sit warm-up workout component circuit. We're going to have a quad circuit coming up, and I hope you choose to do static quads. There are options of dynamic quads. We'll have our glutes and our hamstrings. We'll have our calves. They all have dynamic and static abilities. We're going to have our shoulders pushing, our biceps pulling, and our shoulders pulling, and our triceps pushing. Plenty of work today. Happy Wednesday. Get focused. Stay focused. Three, 2, 1. Relax and breathe. Be careful getting off the wall. You're starting to use those quads. And be careful getting on the ground. Take your time. 20 scissors. Legs straight, arms straight. When I say scissors, I'm referring to vertical scissors. My body is going up. My leg is going up. I am alternating on my sit-up scissor. And technically, the only formal ab you're going to do today, but I'll talk about ways you can change that later, okay? We do have plenty of abs coming up on Friday, and on Monday you had plenty of work and that circuit with your core. We didn't do a lot of abs on Monday either. We had plenty of core. After your 20 scissors, we have one more round to go, so take your time getting off the ground. You're going to head to your wall for the last time today. Back on the wall in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Again, stay focused. Head against the wall. Back, shoulders, butt, they're all against the wall. You're not necessarily pushing against the wall, you are sitting or leaning against the wall. There actually is a difference between pushing against the wall, which could create a lot of knee displacement, versus just sitting and leaning against the wall and centering the load in your quads and your hamstrings and your glutes. I had 5 of these at 6 a.m., 5 of these at 9 a.m., and 5 of these at noon. 15 sets. I think I'm going to be done with them today. In 3, 2, 1, relax and breathe. Take your time getting off the wall. Swimmers. You can either lay on your stomach for your swimmers, or you can be on your hands and knees for your swimmers. Upper back, middle back, lower back, glutes, mobility of hips and spine. If you're on your hands and knees, there's a lengthening and balance component. If you're laying on your stomach, you are supported and you potentially can have more contraction on your 20 swimmers. Hey, chatties. Sorry. I mean, you guys can talk, but Lord have mercy. When you're done, get your space ready. Can you do dynamic quad focus exercises? Of course you can do dynamic quad focus exercises like stationary forward lunges, like narrow squats. If you have a quad machine like we have one here, please use the quad machine. If you have ankle weights, you can put them on your ankles, or if you have a dumbbell that you want to hold between your feet or a medicine ball, please do. Iso quads is part position, isometric position, and then the quad extension exercise. Do you have to do it? No, you don't have to do it. However, that is a static quad focused exercise. We have 100 reactions, please. 100 quad reps. Whether you want to do all iso quads, and mom, you want to hold that ball between your feet, or it'll roll down on you. You hold the ball or dumbbell between feet. I'm not saying it's easy, or you would have ankle weights on. It's not a V-up, it's a quad focused exercise. It's a static quad focused exercise, which in my world is single joint. One joint is moving and one muscle is working. It's also called an open chain exercise, which means your feet are not on the ground, okay? You can do stationary forward lunges or narrow squats. Take your time, your quads are gonna burn. So, like your chest on Monday, you might find yourself shaking it off and taking breaks because your quads burn. After your 100 reps, which we're not even close to being done yet, we're gonna have our first shoulder bicep circuit, okay? Or the shoulder bicep circuit. Take your time. 100 reps, in my world, 2.5 to 3 second reps, right? You got 300 seconds. It's about 5 minutes of work. Iso quads without any weights is still good for you, right? Isometric core position. However, you know me, I want a little bit of load, so play around with iso quads, or you have your stationary forward lunges, or your narrow squats. Those are quad focused dynamic exercises. Dynamic is multi-joint motion, right? Multi-muscle activation. We've always said it, when your hips move, for the most part, your glutes should turn on, and then the exercise turns on your quads more than your hamstrings. 100 steady, smooth, slow, effective reps. And if you're at the gym, I gave you the weights that I wanted to use, and it probably took a little bit longer. And of course, for those people doing this at a gym, or going to do it recorded at the gym, you might find yourself pushing pause a couple times today. And that's all based on the equipment you can use, the load, physical load, time under tension that you're going to have, the workout space you're in, right? The mental focus you have. 100 quad reps. I am going to start talking about the shoulders and biceps. I'm not saying you should be there. I just don't want you to rest very much. And again, this workout has a lot of diversity based on the tools you have. When your 100 quads are done, I need you to get your space ready for shoulder presses, pushing with your shoulders, and bicep curls. Okay? Pulling bicep curls. Again, I'm not saying you should be there. I'm just going to start talking about it so you're able to jump right into it. Shoulders pushing. You have dumbbells, you have bars, you have machines. Those are different tools. You can sit tall, you can stand tall. Shoulder presses, there's not a lot of diversity of motions. They're all the same motion. You have different positions. You have adjustable incline benches and blah, 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 blah. Your shoulder presses are going to be 30 down by 5. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Your biceps pulling, you've got tools, dumbbells, barbells. I know there's ropes and cables. You also have different hand positions. Hammer curls, hammer twist, open wide. Your biceps are going to be 5 up by 5. Every round adds up to 35. Neither of them individually are 35. All right, Chris, what do you want me to do? Round 1, 30 shoulder presses and 5 bicep curls. That's round 1. Then I want you to rest your hands for a second. I don't mind having high pace. I don't mind having controlled high tempo. I really want you to maintain motion, and of course, we need to adjust the load. I don't want the word easy to come out of anybody's mouth. Your shoulders, 30 down by 5. Your biceps are 5 up by 5. Every round adds up to 35. It is 210 shoulders and biceps. You can sit tall, you can stand tall, you can sit on the ball, you can sit on the ground, you can sit on the bench, you can stand tall, you can balance on one leg. Again, shoulder presses, for the most part, they all look the same as far as the shoulder press. 30 shoulders, 5 biceps. Round 1. Then I want you to rest your hands. Round 2 is going to be 25 shoulders and 10 biceps. You shouldn't be there. Round 3 is 20 shoulders and 15 biceps. You get it? Shoulder press, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Biceps, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. That is 210 reps. When you get to your 25 biceps and your 30 biceps, I'll talk about it again, you're allowed to supplement the bicep for abs because we don't have any abs today. Okay, but you're allowed to supplement them because your hands and your arms are going to be trashed. Again, after those 100 quads, you've got 30 shoulder presses, 5 biceps, rest your hands, and then 25 shoulder presses and 10 biceps, and rest your hands. And then 20 shoulder presses and 10 biceps. 15 biceps, rest your hands. When you get to the 10 shoulder press and 25 biceps, you're allowed to replace the biceps with your abs. And you can do any abs because that's on you today. This circuit is 12-ish, maybe even 15 minutes of work. Shoulders are going to burn, biceps are going to fatigue, your hands and arms are going to get tired, and it's miserable. I know it's miserable. Let's just say everybody's on round 2. It's okay if you're not. 25 shoulders, 10 biceps. If you're behind, good. 30 shoulders and 5 biceps. If you're ahead, slow down. That's 20 shoulders and 15 biceps. We don't do it that much. We've done these numbers. We've done ladders. We've done pyramids. I know we've done these things before, but having just a arm, upper body combo, pushing, pulling, nothing else in there. We don't do it that much. It definitely is a blast on the shoulders, arms, and hands. But we also have those quads, hamstring, glutes, and calves today. Don't wait for me, right? Don't worry about being behind. Don't worry about getting ahead. Focus on you. Shoulder press, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. I definitely want the shoulder press to happen as you go down by 5. Your biceps, 5, 10, 15, 20. When you get to the 25 and 30, you're allowed to supplement your biceps for your abs. Working. Remember that word load, L-O-A-D, is either physical weight, you are able to adjust your weights, or time under tension. Yep? Yeah? Mom, I think your microphone's on, Mom. Or DP, I don't know. I think your microphone's on.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, so I can hear me for anything.
I was like, you're yelling at me? When you get there, round 1, 30 shoulder press, 5 biceps. Probably should be done. Round 2, 25 shoulder press, 10 biceps. Again, probably done. I don't want to say should be done. Round 3, 20 shoulder press, 15 biceps. That might be done. If you're ahead, remember that word load. Control your tempo. Make sure you don't lose motion. Round 4 is your 15 shoulder press and your 20 biceps. You're gonna really start hurting and working. It's gonna burn. It's gonna be hard. That's when good things happen, and unfortunately that's when bad things happen. Stay focused. Talking about the tools, shoulder presses. There's not a lot of different motions. Shoulder presses are all very similar motion. You have a couple different angles of adjustable benches, purely vertical, down a notch or 2. You've got bars, dumbbells, machines. You got those types of tools, sitting on a ball. Shoulder press, 30 down by 5. Biceps, you've got bars, you got dumbbells. If you only have one thing, you can hold the one thing and do your biceps. You got cables. There's different hand positions. Neutral, hammer twist, open wide, reverse grip biceps. There's lots of different hand positions when you do your biceps. Round 4, you have the 15 shoulder press. You have the 20 on your biceps. You want some more? You want some more? Nice pants. I like those pants. I don't think I've ever seen you move so fast. When you get to round 5, you've got your 10 shoulder press and your 25 biceps. If you need to get rid of biceps for a second, that's okay. Instead of doing 25 biceps, do 25 abs. Sit-ups, reverse crunches, V-ups, toe touches. Do as you wish. You can annihilate your arms Or you could give your arms a little bit of a break and do some abs. I'm totally cool. I know you're burning. It's hard. I get it. Yuta. Again, on the round 5 of the 10 shoulders and the 25 biceps, you can replace them with abs if you need to. Round 6 is your 5 shoulders and your 30 biceps. And again, if you didn't supplement them before and you want to supplement them now, then you can do 30 abs instead of your 30 biceps. I get it. Again, I don't expect you to be there. I just want to give you the options so you don't have to take breaks. Remember, you can literally label every single workout we have with high pace. People associate pace and tempo. They're very different. Pace is associated to rest. I never give you guys rest. I don't think I've ever used the word rest. However, control your tempo. It's easy to have a high tempo with shoulders and biceps. Don't lose motion. Adjust, control your load, time under tension and physical weight, and work hard. That's all I ask. Again, just so you hear it, I'm going to start transitioning over to the hamstrings and glutes soon. I don't expect you to be on the hamstrings and glutes yet. I want to make sure the 210 shoulders and biceps happen. And again, in my eyes, that is 12-ish minutes of work, maybe even more if you had high load. If you really controlled your tempo, if you took a break after those biceps like I suggested. And if you didn't, that's okay, but that also means your hands and your arms probably got tired. But I am going to transition to the glutes here soon. Hey, you still got your microphone on, you dork.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do. We can all hear you. And that's my mother, by the way, huffing and puffing. Huffing and puffing on a noon. I'm going to transition over the glutes, but you're going to hear it for the last time. Your shoulders were 30 down by 5, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. They were burning, they were hurting. You were maintaining load, you were maintaining motion. Your biceps, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. But the 25 and 30, you can supplement your biceps and do some abs. It's okay if you didn't. Your arms and your shoulders are tired. When you get done, let's talk about hamstrings and glutes. And remember, if you're doing the recorded version, you're not there yet, push pause. Hamstrings and glutes. Of course you can do stationary reverse lunges. Of course you can do wide squats. Of course you can do stiff-legged Rdls. You can also do hip bridges and hamstring curls. Hip bridges, remember you have different feet width, different feet height, and different hip weight. So your hip bridges can vary by what your feet are on, how wide your feet are, and how heavy your hips can be. Those would be hip bridges. It's a great choice, but I really want your butt and your hamstrings. Hip bridges are great. They are also in the core category too. You got hamstring curls. That would be a tool needed to either roll or slide. These are both technically, I'm muddying the water a little bit, single joint static exercises. However, hip bridges wear a lot of hats between core, hamstrings, glutes. Hamstring curls, right? Again, you have a core position and you have the hamstring curl exercise. Stiff-legged Rdls, again, technically you have a single joint motion if you don't want to count any of your vertebrae, but there's a little bit of movement there. Stiff-legged Rdls, again, hamstrings and glutes. You do have your stationary reverse lunges and your wide squats, but those are going to definitely tap into your quads more. Do as you wish. 100 hamstrings and glutes are coming your way, just like your quads. Your quads burn more. You're going to find yourself taking more breaks while doing quads. Your hamstrings and glutes, I'm not going to say you don't feel them. They fatigue more, but normally you're able to kind of push through it. Well, right above your butt is your back, and right below your butt is your hamstrings. So whenever we're trying to get those things, make sure we're focused on the right muscle. Hamstrings and glutes. Let's not irritate your back while you try to use your hamstrings and glutes. Stiff-legged Rdls are a great choice. Slow it down, load it up. But probably the quickest ones to go to your back. Hip bridges again, they're great. But you do need some load. Make sure you maintain motion. I'm going to put them in the easier but very good for you category. Hamstring curls are great. It does require a tool. Wide squats and stationary reverse lunges, those are dynamic hamstring focused exercises. You do get other muscles, you just get a little more hamstrings. Blah, blah, blah. When your shoulders and biceps are done, you're on to your 100 hamstring glutes. Hip bridges. Play around with your feet width, feet height, and your hip weight. You can add weight to your hips. Hamstring curls, position tool. I'm diversifying just so you see everything. Hamstring curls. Now, at the gym, we have other tools, but for the most part, hamstring curls, right, when you're home, and even at the gym, right? Your butt is in the air, your feet or legs are on something, and you either roll or slide hamstring curl. Clearly, they're hamstring curl machines, and there's other static hard. Now, dynamic does not mean hard. There's other hamstring exercises that are hard to do. 100 hamstring glutes. Keep the focus. We have a lot more work to do. We had a 5-minute wall sit, dynamic motion, 100 total reps in our dynamic motion to get warm and loose. We had our quads. We had shoulders pushing, biceps pulling. 100 hamstrings and glutes. We're going to have our shoulders pulling and triceps pushing soon. We're going to finish off the workout with our calves. Yeah, we got a lot of work done. If you ever get done earlier, as you see, it's okay to stretch for a second. It's okay to relax for a second. I'm not doing all the reps with you. I'll give everybody about another minute and I'll start talking about the shoulders and triceps. If you're not there, good. That means you controlled your tempo. You maintain motion. You adjusted your load. Maybe even increased the load. You diversified a little bit. That's good. 100 hamstrings and glutes. After the 200 shoulders and arms. 210, sorry, shoulders and arms. Well, I am going to start talking about it. It doesn't mean you should be there. Shoulders pulling. You're going to have upright rows. You're going to have any shoulder raise. You got front raise, lateral raise, rear raise. You got bar upright rows, kettlebell upright rows, plate upright rows. You stand tall on upright rows. You can sit tall or stand tall on your shoulder raises. Oh, on upright rows?
Yeah.
Oh, 10 each side. Upright rows, standing tall, shoulders pulling, or again, raises. Front raise, lateral raise, rear raise. Those are shoulders pulling. So you do have a little more diversity this circuit, and it's okay if you do mix them up. 30 could be one, and 25 could be another, and that's okay. What? 30 again. We're going to go down by 5 again on our shoulders pulling and our triceps pushing. I'll talk about that more soon. It's going to be the up by 5. And again, you'll have the option of mixing in some abs towards the end if you need to. I'm not saying you should be there, but when you get there, you have your shoulders pulling 30 down by 5, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, and you have your triceps pushing 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. It's rare that we have 2 of these circuits in one day. It is common to have 1 of these types of circuits between some workouts. But doing 2 of them is really mean. That is 420 shoulders, bis, and tris, which is why you're allowed to do some abs. Okay? I get it. When you get there, not saying you should be there, shoulders pulling, you have upright rows as a choice, front raises, lateral raises, rear raises. As long as you're relaxing your hands, your arms are the conduit for moving and displacing weight, and you're pulling with your shoulders, that's going to be your 30 down by 5. Triceps, you got dips, you got kickbacks, you got rope in front, rope overhead, bar in front, you got skull crushers, TRX push-ups. There are so many different tricep movements and positions. That's going to be 5 up by 5. You got overhead triceps. You got rope, dumbbells, bar. You got your kickbacks. You got your dips. TRX skull crusher push-ups. You got narrow push-ups on the ground or bench. Again, there's so many tricep pushing positions and exercises. When you get done with those 100 glutes, remember, there are many people that watch this recorded and they push pause. When you get done with those 100 hamstring glutes, you're on to the second and last upper body circuit. Shoulders pulling, front raises, that's a good option. Lateral raises, that's a good option. Rear raises, oh, that's an okay option. And that's because of what we did on Monday. You have your upright rows, you have different tools, kettlebells, barbells, plates, dumbbells, shoulders pulling, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Triceps pushing 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And when you get to the 25 and 30 on the triceps, you're allowed to do some abs. If you didn't do them earlier, now you know why I said you could. Again, I'm just dabbling just so you see all the things you can do. And you may not remember when you first started working out with me, it feels like we do a lot because we do a lot. There are several people that I have doing this workout over 2 days. They do the warm-up workout circuit, and then they do the first 2 parts, and then they come back and do a different warm-up and do the last parts. So like the workout we did on Monday, they had them do the legs a little differently. Anyhow, you guys do a lot of work. I hope you know that. 30 down by 5, shoulders pulling. 5 up by 5, triceps pushing. Round 1, 30, shoulders pulling. 5, triceps pushing. Round 2, 25, shoulders pulling, 10 triceps pushing, against the same thing as earlier. Round 3, 20 shoulders pulling and 15 triceps pushing. When you get to the 25 and the 30 on the triceps, you are allowed to supplement them for abs. When this circuit is done, we're going to do calves. The calves burn like the quads, but they're not as big of a motion as your hamstrings and glutes. It doesn't take that long to do your calves. So I definitely would love it if it happened today. Work, work, work. You know my rules. Number 1 is never lose motion. If you're trying to go fast, you're trying to quote unquote keep up, you feel like you're behind, which is no such thing, this is your workout. If you're just trying to get this thing done quickly, 90% of all injuries happen because somebody either spaced out, right? They lost focus, or they lost motion. They started going quickly to get things done. Motion, number 1 rule, keep motion. For the most part, that means you have your focus. You are focused on the task at hand. So they kind of go hand in hand. Focus, motion. You can adjust the load to make sure you complete the reps. Control that high tempo, control that high pace, and you can work real hard. Work, 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 focus, intensity. I know this is tedious, I get it, but that's why I asterisk the high rep arms, the biceps and the triceps. You can supplement them with abs, and that would give you a little mental stimulation, yielding some physical stimulation, and then your arms and your hands, your neck and your shoulders will survive this kind of a workout. Again, when you get there, let's say you're on round 4. You have your 15 pulling and you have your 20 triceps pushing. Round 5 is your 10 shoulders pulling and you either do 25 triceps pushing or you do 25 abs. And the last round, which you should not be there yet, is your 5 shoulders pulling, and then you have your 30 triceps pushing, or again, you can do abs. I'll start talking about the calves in about 2 minutes. The calves are simple. I didn't say easy. The calves don't take quite as long because of the motion. Again, between Monday and today, chest, back, shoulders, bis, tris. We had our dynamic legs on Monday, our static legs today. Bunch of core on Monday, either no abs or a little bit of abs today. A lot of work, a lot of movement. Friday will be a bigger ab day. Yes. Technically that's today on St. Patty's Day. 16-ounce curls are more of a Wednesday St. Patty's Day, but I feel like there's not many St. Patrick's Day that have fallen on a weekend. I feel like they always fall on a weekday. I know it changes, but it just doesn't feel like it. And if you didn't know, today's St. Patrick's Day, if you haven't gone to the pub yet, make sure you go there after your workout, Cameron. Make sure you feed the baby, Make sure your wife's comfortable. All right, I know you're on the shoulders and tries, and again, when you get there, you can do some abs. The 30 down by 5, shoulders pulling, the 5 up by 5, tricep pushing. On the 10 shoulder and the 25 tricep round, you're allowed to do abs. And on the 5 shoulder and the 30 tricep, you're allowed to do abs. When you get there, I'm not saying you should be there, but you're on your calves. What I don't want is for you to stand there on the floor and do your calves. What I would love if you held on to weight and or go to a curb, go to the stairwell, go stand on the edge of something. That way you get some more extension. Pretend I'm standing on something. That way I can stretch my calves and get more motion as I squeeze my calves. You can stand on a 2x4. I can stand on the weight plate. You can stand on the edge of any equipment you have. I'm just looking for more motion and maybe some more load. You can also point your toes in and point your toes out, right? You can do all those little corny things as you do your 100 calves. Yes, I said 100 calves. You can even do a moderate wall sit, even though we already did it with our seated calves. Remember, seated calves works your soleus, the underneath calf muscle, and that muscle supports load and impact. Whereas your gastrocs, the one you can see, the bubble, right, the straight-legged calves, it kind of makes you faster. It kind of helps you jump higher, but really they just look pretty, or they don't look pretty, one of the two. So I wouldn't mind if you mixed up your calves. The toe angle thing is all about the aesthetics of the calves, toes in and toes out. But if you could stand on something, that would be awesome. If you could have weight, that would be awesome. You've got 100 calves to finish off your day. Simple, I didn't say easy, smooth. 100 calves, preferably standing on the edge of something. You could change your feet width a little bit. You could have your toes in and toes out, so you could change the angle a little bit. You could have your legs straight, and you could have your knees bent. Of course, at the gym, we have seated calf machine. We have the boxes, and we have machines that we can change to. When you get done to those shoulders and triceps, the final couple minutes of your workout is going to be your 100 calves. Legs straight, knees bent, feet adjusted wide. Change your toe angle, but I would love it if you stood on the edge of something so you could have more motion. And I would love if you held on to some weight so you had more load. L-O-A-D, time under tension, or physical weight. Now, you know I talked a lot. Remember, these workouts, people are all over the place. That's why I talk a lot. You might be on round 3 and somebody else might be on round 1. When you get done with your 100 calves, pat yourself on the back, drink some water to hydrate, go get that nutrition, protein, carbs, and fat, nourish the body. If you have energy, 5, 8, 10 minutes of cardio, your body's never more efficient. And if you don't have energy but you have time, stretch. Enjoy your St. Patty's Day Wednesday.